大家好. It was said a few times. Emilio wasn't able to make it for a dental emergency, so I'm picking up for him today. I'm the project manager for Godot Foundation, and today we're talking about how to build Godot and what the process is of making the engine. I'm just curious if anyone in the audience has heard of Godot or knows what Godot is. Okay, all right. I see the... Okay, so I'll give a little lowdown of what Godot is. Godot is an engine and editor. We like to specify editor because it means that you can write all your code within engine as well in the editor. You can make 3D, 2D, and XR games, and it's a small download. It's just a zip file, and then you can have it running. It can be as small as 64 megabytes, and it's open source. So much like Blender and Linux. If you're curious about what games have been made in Godot, we have Brotato, The Golden Idol, and Buckshot Roulette. And most recently, we've had a bigger title. Battlefield announced that they had customizable maps that you can customize within Godot for the players, and this is what it looks like behind the scenes. And more recently, the Blender team made a game called Dog Walk. They used Blender and Godot, and they did a wonderful talk at Godot Fest about this. And Valve made a hardware announcement, and you can see Blender and Godot were both featured. On top of larger companies working within Godot, we also have a lot of indie devs, and a lot of them play or make games for game jams. One of the bigger game jams is the GMTK game jam, and you can see that this year almost 39% of games were made within Godot. So 10 years ago, 10 years ago, Godot became open source, and you can see in 2024 it grew exponentially. Okay, maybe just wait it out. Is that better? Maybe? Okay. It's good. It means I can look over my notes.
ER. Maybe try this one.
1, 2. All right. So here's Google Trends for Godot. In 2023, you might see a giant spike. I wonder what that is. In 2023, Unity shared that they were adding fees for their users. And a lot of developers freaked out and started looking for other options. Oh, I skipped. Okay. And so our audience has grown a lot. And you'd think that Godot has an office and a big team, but spoilers, we have 17 people in total. So you might be wondering how that is possible to work with such a small team. We're all remote and we work globally together. How could this be possible? Our community. What makes Godot unique is its open source, is what makes it work. We stand shoulder to shoulder with other contributors and volunteers who build the engine alongside us. We have about 3,000 contributors, volunteers, which places us at a number closer to other game engines. Here you can see GitHub. This is our repo. We have about 80 repositories, but the main ones that people work from are the Godot, Godot docs, and demo projects. Documentation used to be one of our weakest points in Godot. And in Godot 4, we drastically improved this thanks to the help of our community. And if you want to pick up Godot, this is a great place to start. So this is an image that you may have seen. We use it a lot. It's one of our TPS demos, and there are over 100 demos, and we use these to test whether or not new features are functioning. So to start the process of contributing to Godot if you want to, we have proposals, and here's a list of proposals. So people make requests for the animation editor, adding new features to scripting language, or improving UX. And then the community will vote and look for consensus. We're always looking for consensus. And you don't need to know how to code to make a proposal. The idea is you let us know what the engine is missing and how it can improve, and you request it, especially if it's something that blocks you from making the game that you want to make. Not everything is done in GitHub. We also use Weblate, which is an open source tool that helps us with translation. A lot of our contributors are translating the documentation and the editor, and you can see we have started to have translation in Chinese, but there's still some things that are in English, and which is why we need more volunteers. Bless you. All right, so the way our work is divided is we break into teams. We have core, rendering, animation, and the teams are organized and then approve new additions into their areas. Anyone can join a team, so if there is an area that you're interested in, you're welcome to check it out. Most of our contractors, most of our team members are actually originally volunteers, and because it's so important to have the people using it and building the game be a part of the foundation as well. So here are the groups that make up everyone that changes how the game works. The game engine works. We have foundation, volunteers, and companies. Not every team has active contributors as people come and go because it's volunteer. A lot of it is volunteering. People sometimes show up and then leave. The foundation's goal is to fill these gaps. All right, so this is an example of how volunteers and the foundation work together. Here's a proposal that was made. The complaint was that they really wanted to be able to drag and drop 3D objects onto the floor or other platforms without needing to mess around with gizmos. And this was something that gained a lot of positive reaction. And then, maybe not. There you go. Another contributor came with the solution and all of the code and the programming to do this. And what they did right was that they described how this would help overcome the problem with a minimum effect on the overall engine. They wanted object snapping, and this code was able to do that. And so what we do with the foundation is we have okay. We have team come in to review the PR and make sure that it can be maintained after it's merged and if it fits the code style. And once the foundation reviews this, we are able to test with the team and make sure that it's reviewed And then, once it's approved, we have a reviewer who specializes in the team subjects to approve it for the engine. And then we get to highlight it in our release page. So here it is being featured. With companies and the foundation, there are two main ways that we collaborate. Companies can either contribute developer time, and they will personally have developers working on the game engine to fix specific issues, such as improving support for popular devices. The other option is sponsoring the foundation to work on a particular area. Some companies even hire people full-time to work on the game engine because it will benefit them. And this is one of our success stories. We had a really popular proposal of asking to add a game mode in the editor. And this was sponsored by a company, and it was very popular because we had a lot of Unity developers migrate over, and it was successfully merged into the engine. So the foundation helps building the engine by addressing usually issues that no one else is going to deal with. So we had a weird sound crackling in web exports, and one of our team members was able to address this and again go through the usual process of having it properly reviewed by the team and then reviewers, and then finally to be merged. Another way that the foundation contributes is through priorities. And here you can see all the teams and what the priority is for the engine. You can also participate via chat or GitHub to chip into what you think your team's priorities should be. Because we do not gather analytics within the engine, we send out a poll, and we were able to receive 10K responses, which for now is a good representation. And here we found 78% people use Windows. Sorry, cannot laugh into this mic. And this brings me to PRs. We have a lot of them. Going back to the code, we need people for reviewing and triaging issues, and we have a lot. We have 11,000 still open. But this is just part of the picture. With 11,000 open in mind, we've closed 44,000, and the amount being closed is constantly increasing. Okay, once we've finished adding all the changes, this is where we enter our dev phase. In the dev phase, we're testing riskier things and putting in features that the community has requested. And once we're confident that they are working, we enter beta mode. In beta phase, we fix things, feature freeze, no new features are developed, and once all the fires are put out, then we're able to release a release candidate. In the RC phase, it's really heavily about community testing. Content creators can also view what is upcoming and share where the engine is heading. And we fixed this until there are no blockers left. And then we get to release on our beautiful 4.5 release page. We finished our most recent release in September. And one thing is that with this process, some things can take a very long time. So that initial proposal about snapping took us about 5 years to get in. But that's an extreme example. Sometimes it also takes us 9 minutes. It depends on the issue and depends on if there's enough community buy-in and resources to address it. But in general, open source development is a lot slower than other engines who have a lot more funding and more resources. So talking about funding, Where's the money coming from? Donations is primarily where we get our funding. Here you can see our donation page, and we have 1,557 members and 19 sponsors. For donations, we use it to work on the release, reviews, develop new features, community support, and to implement proposals. So far, every year has grown with our donations have grown every year with release. And you might be wondering, why do we always see an increase after every release? Well, I have a really dark secret to tell you. Okay, here we go. We have a pop-up. Every time people download the latest version, they're given a pop-up that reminds them to donate, or that we run because of donations. And the reason why we think this works is because it's not just about asking for a donation from first-time users, it's about people returning for their updates. And if they're returning and they're thinking about, okay, has this benefited me, and maybe it's time to donate. Another way is through GodotCon and Godot Fest. This is where we get to meet a lot of our contributors. We had 600 participants in Berlin, and you can check out all our previous talks on our website. In the upcoming year, we want to continue having talks, potentially in Asia. And here's another way that we've been raising funds. The Godot plushie helped us employ one of our team members. And most recently is our asset store. So we're currently in beta for the asset store. And the reason why we care so much about our asset store is that extensions allow us to keep the engine itself a small download. And we do release official plugins like our XR tool, but we don't ship it by default with the engine. So how do we build Godot? A big part of it is our community, and the foundation fills in the gaps where we can, and every feature follows the same path as described, and the ultimate goal is to make game creation easier and for everyone. Thank you.